Hiya. Tender beef and noodles in the crock pot. Guys, this one is gonna be a winner and I cannot wait for you to try it. Welcome back to In the Kitchen with Tabby. Let's get cooking.
All right, friends, tender beef and noodles coming up. Now that's the only part of that I remember that's exactly what I said. So the rest of this is going to have to be a voiceover. I had my skillet warmed up with some avocado oil and I added about 3/4 of a sweet onion that I just sliced up pretty thin. Now I'm adding to that about 1.5 pounds of stew meat. So beef stew meat. You want to make sure it's a good stew meat because you want it to be nice and tender. This is called tender beef and noodles after all. Now remember, we're not trying to cook it all the way through. We are just letting that onion kind of brown a little bit and we're searing the meat. We want to get that really good flavor on the meat. So we're not trying to cook it all the way through. We just want to sear it and brown those onions a little bit. So I'm just going to cook this over medium-high heat. Let that meat get a nice sear on it. And when it is ready, I will come back and we will take it to the next step. Hang tight. All right, while our meat continues to sear, we're going to go ahead and mix up our sauce that we're going to pour over this meat once we get it in the crock pot. So in my measuring cup here, I have 1/2 cup of water. And to that, we're going to add a few more ingredients. We're going to add some ketchup, some brown sugar, and then we are going to also add in some ground mustard, some smoked paprika, some salt, and some pepper. All of that going in. And then we have one final ingredient. We have some Worcestershire. I know I never say that right. Worcestershire sauce, or I'm just going to call it wash your sister sauce because that's a whole lot easier. But that's going in and we're going to give all of that a really good mix to get everything combined. Look at the beautiful color on that. And I really wish you guys could have smelled it. It was so good. Especially with that smoked paprika. It just really added a really cool smell to it. And the flavor was really good too. So I'm just going to continue to stir that until all of those seasonings and sugar and everything are really well dissolved in that sauce. All right, our onions and meat are almost ready. So I'm going to let that sear just a little bit longer and then I'll be right back. All right, friends, our meat is ready. So I'm going to go ahead and pour all of that meat and onion mixture right into my crock pot. Get all of that in there. This is about a 1.5 quart crock pot, which is a great size when you're making a smaller meal like this. So, all right, we've got it all in there. Now I'm going to take that beautiful sauce that we made. And let me just tell you, I tasted just a little bit of it before I poured it in here and it was delicious. Once I poured it in there, I couldn't eat it because it's over the beef and you know I can't have the beef. So I wasn't going to be able to taste it later. So I wanted to give it a little nibble. And I think I am going to make this again and use chicken because I think this sauce would be absolutely delicious over some chicken. So we're going to pour all of that sauce in there and then we're going to give it just a little mix and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Look at how beautiful that is. The color of that sauce is just absolutely beautiful. All right, we're going to let that cook for about 5 hours. And when that 5 hours is up, I'll come back. We've got one more step to take and I won't do it without you.
That was a fast 4.5 hours. At least for me, it seemed fast. For you, I know it was only about a half a second, but this is ready for our next step. So what I have done is taken some flour and I'm adding some water to it. And we're going to give this a little mix here. And then we're going to add this to our crock pot and that is going to help thicken up our sauce. So let's just give this a nice little stir. And I can tell you one thing, it is smelling amazing. Dale's going to have to do our taste test for us, but I can tell you it smells absolutely incredible. All right, let me get this. Let's get the lid off. We're going to pour this in. Just going to give this a little stir. I've got my noodles cooked for him, so it's ready as soon as this is ready. And I'm just going to give it just a couple minutes to thicken this sauce up just a little bit. And then we will be ready to plate it up and serve. All right, we're close, that close. Hang tight, we'll be right back. All right, guys, I got my taste tester here.
Taste tester.
Taste tester. We got tender beef and noodles. And remember, these noodles are zucchini noodles. So they're made with zucchini flour, pea flour, and lentil flour. And then we've got the beef with that delicious sauce that we made. And I sprinkled just a little bit of partially dried parsley on top.
It smells really good.
Does it?
Yeah. I've never had these kind of noodles before.
I think you're gonna like them.
Wow. It's really tasty. What's that?
The sauce, you mean?
Yeah.
It's got ketchup and Worcestershire sauce and all the things. It's got all the things. Yeah, the recipe will be on my website.
It's been a long day.
I made it 5 hours ago, so you know.
It's really, really delicious.
Yeah, you really like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I highly recommend it.
Okay, good. All right. All right.
Okay, can I finish the rest of it?
Yeah, you can finish the rest of it. That's your whole plate.
Have a good night.
All right, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you make yourself some tender beef and noodles. This recipe is going to be in our deck of 30 recipe cards, the dinners for 1 or 2. So be looking for that on the website, inthekitchenwithtabbi.com, and then you can click on My Store up at the top, and it will take you right to my Shopify store. And you'll see that deck of 30 cards there with just 30 great recipes to give you all kinds of ideas for a full month of dinner ideas. All right, guys, remember, you will find this recipe and all my other recipes on my website, inthekitchenwithtabbi.com. On Facebook, you will find a link to the recipe in our group page, Cooking With In the Kitchen with Tabbi. The link will be on that page. On Instagram, the link to the recipe will be in the comments. On YouTube, the link will be in 2 places. You'll find it in the comments, but you will also find it in the full description. So click on the full description and it will open up and the link to the recipe will be there. All right, guys, phew, I think we're done. I do hope you've had an amazing day. I hope you just got a lot accomplished that you wanted to get accomplished. I hope you smiled a lot, laughed a little, and loved even more. Guys, I love you so much, but God loves you even more than I do. Please don't forget that. And also don't forget, He is the unseen guest at every dinner table and the silent listener at every conversation. So just make sure those words coming out of your mouth are pure and sweet like honey, that you're lifting each other up, loving on each other, and shining your light bright, because that's what we're called to do. I hope you get in the kitchen and have some fun, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.